That's it! That's it! Mario Kart Tour, stop updating your game with an insane new track every time I try to make a Booster Course Pass prediction video. I swear, I'm gonna be like, oh, DK Mountain's gonna come in the Booster Course Pass. Then next week, Tour's gonna announce that they're remaking GCN Bowser's Castle. Anyway, I will try to predict waves 5 through 6, even though Nintendo will be like, let's invalidate your predictions like next week. I also do want to mention some things before we start. First off, this video does include data mines for Tour and 8 Deluxe, so you can leave in. Okay, everyone's gone? Well then, let's start. The big thing I want to do for my predictions is shuffle around the tracks and stuff, so that they make more sense with the tracks that I'm predicting. Get ready for some tracks to move up several places. Alright, I'm going to start off with all my old predictions so you can see how much they changed. So my old predictions were Tour Bangkok Rush, We Koopa Cape, GBA Cheap Island, Tour Trio Crossways, Tour Rome Roundabout, GCN Daisy Cruiser, SNES Vanilla 2, DK Country, Tour Honolulu Highway, Wii's Toad Factory, GBA Sunset Wilds, Piranha Plant Cove, Tour Vancouver Velocity, GCN DK Mountain, Bathroom Run, and then Wii Rainbow Road. Now let's start off with my new prediction. Alright, so my new predictions for the Feather Cup are Tour Athens Dash, Wii Koopa Cape, SNES Bowser's Castle 3, and then Tour San Francisco Sidewinder. Now, we'll get to the last one in a bit, but I think the first three are pretty obvious. First off, Tour's Athens Dash. I think it's a pretty good starter course to this cup. It is a bit ambitious, but I will explain why everyone who says it's going to be in Wave 6 is kind of wrong. Anyway, Wii Koopa Cape, we do know that this track is going to come back due to the banner leak that is showing Koopa Cape, but yeah, honestly this track is just Koopa Cape. It's Koopa Cape. They ruined it in 7 and Tour, so I guess we're gonna see it ruined one more time in 8 Deluxe. Anyway, moving on to SNES Bowser's Castle 3. I was gonna predict Vanilla Lake 2, but like, that's so boring. Like, SNES Bowser's Castle 3 was probably made with 8 Deluxe in mind, compared to all the other SNES tracks inside of Tour. So yeah, I mean, the writing's literally on the wall. Bowser's Castle 3 is coming for 8 Deluxe. Now finally, Tour San Francisco Sidewinder. According to the ID gap, there is an ID, I don't know what an ID gap is, but apparently it just tells what tracks could be coming. First off, it could be Paris Promenade 4, but I think I'm leaning more towards a new track, especially considering how long this ID gap is, because it's between Paris Promenade 3 and Singapore Speedway Run, or 1. So that means that we can have all of these letters. We can have a city start with these letters, plus some other letters too. Now, why San Francisco Sidewinder? Why not Rio One-Ways? Well, this is why. Other than Christ the Redeemer and I guess the city, I don't know what else is there. What else is there to really do or drive to in Rio? Sure, they made tracks without making any landmarks in mind, but like, I don't know. It's just gonna be more driving than like seeing landmarks. Plus, most of the set pieces in Tour City tracks are really cool. For example, the Opera House inside of Sydney Sprint, or the bridge inside of Sydney Sprint, or the theme park in Sydney Sprint, or a lot of things inside of Sydney Sprint. But, you know what does have a bunch of potentials for set pieces inside of a Tour City track? San Francisco. Like, I mean, there's all these other buildings and landmarks and famous buildings across the entire city. I think that's gonna be pretty cool to see. Plus, like, there's also, imagine like the track starting out on Bay Bridge. You drive across it and then you go through the city, and then the lap ends while the music's going like crazy in the background with you driving over Golden Gate Bridge. Plus, look at this road. Did you not see the potential for a city track? Like, this is the Wiggly Road in San Francisco. Like, yeah, there's just a whole bunch of cool landmarks in San Francisco that everyone can drive through. So yeah, I think San Francisco Sidewinder, I think that's gonna come instead of Rio Runways. Well, moving on to the Cherry Cup. Cherry Cup includes Tour Los Angeles Laps, GBA Cheap Island, GCN Daisy Cruiser, and then DK Country. I don't know if the final track is going to be a DK Country track, but apparently there's data mines in Tour suggesting that there's going to be one, so yeah. Now, Tour Los Angeles Laps I predicted for the final track inside of the Boomerang Cup, but unfortunately that didn't happen. So looks like we're going to have to deal with it inside of the second cup inside of Wave 5, at the beginning of it. Then moving on to GBA Cheap Island. Now, I was going to put this as the third track inside of the Feather Cup, but I think this makes more sense here, so SNES Bowser's Castle 3 can be inside of the third slot. Now you may be wondering, where is Sunset Wilds? Sunset Wilds was literally in the Banner League and the Music League, and you still don't put it inside of here? Okay, hold your horses. Sunset Wilds, I think, is going to be in Wave 6. The reason why, I'll explain later. Now, the final thing I have to talk about is GCN Daisy Cruiser being in the third slot. Yeah, you probably noticed that I swapped around the preface league by now, but yeah, GCN Daisy Cruiser just makes more sense here instead of the second slot. Especially considering that it was in the third slot instead of Double Dash and Mario Kart 7. So, I mean, if they bring it into 8 Deluxe, they have to put it into the third slot, right? Yeah, that just sounds about right. So, let's get to the part of the video where I think I'm going to try to predict what characters are going to be in. Now, I'm not going to try to predict them in order. I'm just going to try to predict which characters are going to be in. So, we have 5 slots, so that means 5 characters. And I think first up is going to be Diddy Kong. Now, I kid you not, Diddy Kong is 100% confirmed because I went to Target and I saw this toy. Yes, that is Diddy Kong inside of a Mario Kart or a pipe frame to be exact. It has the official Nintendo licensing, it has everything. So, yes, if that's not enough proof that Diddy Kong is 100% confirmed to be inside, here's some more. Why else would Nintendo approve a toy that's supposed to be for Mario Kart with a character that hasn't been in Mario Kart since 2 console generations ago? It's kind of weird to think that Nintendo would do that. So, yeah, Diddy Kong has to be inside of 8 Deluxe now. Now, my next prediction is going to be PD Piranha. I will be the happiest man alive when PD Piranha gets added into this game. Piranha Plant Co., which is 100% confirmed for the Booster Course Pass because it's in Tour. Now, my next 3 predictions are going to just be ones that I think are going to happen. I don't think Cam is going to be inside of 8 Deluxe, guys. It was a perfect opportunity for him to be added inside of Wave 4 alongside of Birdo. So, yeah, I don't think Cam is going to come in. But you know who is going to come in? Funky Kong. We're getting a DK Country themed track and Wii Rainbow Road plus Koopa Cave, yeah, this entire Booster Course Pass was very centered around the Wii tracks. There was literally a Wii track inside of every single wave. Plus, the previously says that there's going to be 2 more in the upcoming ones, and we know one of them is going to be Wii Rainbow Road. I mean, it just has to. I think I'm going to predict King Bob-omb. Yeah, he hasn't really made an appearance inside of Mario Kart except in Mario Kart Tour, but I mean, he'll be a pretty good fit inside of 8 Deluxe. I think the final character is going to be Pauline. Pauline has been in a bunch of other Mario spin-off games, for example, Mario Striker, so why not add her into 8 Deluxe? But back to the predictions. So, the first cup inside of Wave 6 is going to be the Acorn Tub. And I think the tracks are going to be Tour Madrid Motorways, Bathroom Run, Piranha Plant Cove, and GBA Sunset Wilds. See, I told you Sunset Wilds would return. Madrid Motorways, I mean, there's not really much proof. I feel like, I guess it's probably going to be Madrid. I don't know why they would add Madrid and not, like, I don't know, actually Rio, but maybe Tour will make it good, I have no idea. But it's just, only time will tell to see what will happen to Madrid. And then GBA Sunset Wilds will be in the final slot because it was in the final slot of Super Circuit's Lightning Cup. So then you might ask, well, what about the other 2 tracks, Bathroom Run and Piranha Plant Cove? So you see, I don't think Bathroom Run or Piranha Plant Cove are fit to be the final track in the cup. Now, this is because Bathroom Run is a literal bathroom. I have no idea why that would be the final track. But Piranha Plant Cove's music, while a little bit intense and same way with its layout, I don't think it's intense enough to be the final track. So it makes a pretty good penultimate cup, but not exactly a final cup. I think GBA Sunset Wilds will be a much better fit here. Now you may ask, actually what happened to the Wii track, aka the GCN track? I don't think they're gonna add a GCN track, actually. I mean, it's gonna be a little bit weird that there's gonna be 2 GCN tracks inside of 1 cup. The only other time they did this was in Wave 3 with 3DS Rock Mountain and 3DS Rainbow Road. But, 3DS Rainbow Road is just 3DS Rainbow Road. I don't know what else you can get mad about. But then we had Rock Mountain, which I see as like the actual 3DS retro for that cup. Because, it's 3DS Rainbow Road. Speaking of Rainbow Road, now moving on into the Spiny Cup. This is the final track of the entire game. And here are my predictions for it. Tour Vancouver Velocity, GCN Dino Jungle, DS Airship Fortress, then finally Wii Rainbow Road. Now, I mean, Tour Vancouver Velocity, it's a pretty good track to kick off the cup. The layout and the music are pretty intense enough to be inside of the final cup, but I don't think it should be, like, I don't know, the ending cup for Wave 5. So, yeah, I think Vancouver Velocity should be here. Now, moving on to the GCN Dino Jungle, I mean, it's just in the second slot. It just made sense. It was in the second slot of 7, and I forgot about Double Dash, but I'm pretty sure it was in the second slot. If not, it was in the first, which still makes sense. Now, finally, we have DS Airship Fortress. Now, you might say, well, according to the previous lead, we're actually supposed to get a new track. Well, this is what I say to that. We don't really have any proof of a third track existing. No ID gaps, no assets, no nothing. We don't have any proof of any sort of new track existing. Now, does that mean they're 100% not going to make one? Probably not. But I think it's enough evidence that I don't think they're going to make one, and I think they just made 3 nitros instead of Wave 6. And I think the reason why they did 3 new nitros inside of Wave 6 is that one of them had to be, like, at least filler. At least for the other 2 ones, we have proof of them existing. Bathroom Run having assets, and Piranha Plant Cove literally existing. But we don't really have proof of a third one existing. So yeah, and plus DS Airship Fortress is just perfect. Like imagine during the trailer, it just starts with Wii Rainbow Road, and then it goes into like a different track, and then it starts playing DS Airship Fortress. Like, oh yeah, DS Airship Fortress is returning. And plus, I mean, out of all the times that we could have gotten a Wii and DS combo, a Wii and DS track right next to each other, it never happened. So I think it's finally time to do that with arguably 2 of the best tracks from those games respectively. So yeah, those are my predictions. Let's overview them all real quick. Starting off with the Feather Cup and going to the Spiny Cup, we have Tour Athens Dash, Wii Koopa Cave, SNES Bowser Castle 3, Tour San Francisco Sidewinder, Tour Los Angeles Slaps, GBA Cheap Cheap Island, GCN Daisy Cruiser, DK Country, Tour Madrid Motorways, Bathroom Run, Piranha Plant Cove, GBA Sunset Wilds, Tour Vancouver Velocity, GCN Dino Jungle, DS Airship Fortress, and then finally, Wii Rainbow Road. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Tell me what you think about my predictions, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.